Today is the 16th, my father's birthday. If he were still alive, he would be 97. And I miss him, and I loved him very much. He was very quiet, stayed to himself. He was a nerd, very creative. And I'm proud to say he's my dad. Well, I'm always looking for new irons to put in the fire, obviously, and I do stupid things. Today I watched a little fella, and we're getting more into music. He came over here and he was playing on the organ. Somehow he figured out how to add all these percussion instruments. I've had this thing for probably 10 years at least. I don't know how to do that. How did he figure it out? And today his beat of the day was kind of like a merengue salsa type of thing going on today. That was his beat today. Usually it's Chicago shuffle. Boom, 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 boom. You know, the traveling bass part. And I got some messages today from people in the play. The director's looking for 2 male parts. There's only 3 male parts in the play. But apparently he only liked one of the guys that auditioned. So he's looking for male parts. And I told him about the fellow that runs the improv school and how he might know somebody. And I told that guy that runs the improv school, Nick, of anyone that wants to be acting can act. Obviously, when you're in the improv, you can do some of that acting type stuff that this guy director is looking for. 2 guys. I'm not really sure which parts. There's a doctor, and then there's 2 brothers that are the stepsons. Oh no, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 men parts. The doctor and 2 residents of this cloisters sanitarium. One had come back from World War II with shell shock, which is PTSD, and the other one had illusions of grandeur. But he once you get to hear him speak and stuff, he has nothing to be grand about, except he's kind. Oh, not really sure when the rehearsals start on that. But I played with Sebastian today. I brought him over here, and we played with toys over here. He's really good at throwing a ball. And when he's thinking about where he's going to throw it, he has it in his hands like a baseball pitcher. And he has his hand behind his back, just like a baseball pitcher. And I'm thinking, were you a baseball pitcher in a previous life? It's just very uncanny. And Brian got home early, and I had been looking for various things. I looked for auto harp. And nobody online that has an auto harp, it's old or it's cracked or I don't trust it, they ask too much or whatever. Then what caught my eye was a violin. This lady had a violin for $25. Supposed to be like new. Okay. So I asked her if it was still available, and she said yeah. So as soon as Brian got home today, he brought some pizzas home. And I felt bad, but I already promised this lady I'd come and get the violin today. The only thing is, it's 45 minutes drive without traffic. And with the traffic going home, it took an hour and a half to get there. At least. By the time I got up to her little city of Victorville, I had to pee so bad. I ran into this gas station, and on the door it says, bathrooms for customers only. And I'm thinking, I'm trying the door, and the guy behind the counter says, we have to buzz you in. And it's for customers only. I said, well, if I don't get in, I'm going to pee all over the floor. So he buzzed me in, and I went to the bathroom. My God, I just made it. And I ended up buying my gas there. I needed some. So, it was legit. And this lady was her husband came to the door. He didn't speak English or hardly any Hispanic. And I said I had come to purchase a violin for $25. Oh, and he gets his wife, Martha Peno, Peno. And she says, oh yeah, hold on. She goes and disappears for about 5 minutes, comes back with this little case. And she opens it up and she shows me, here's the bow. She said it's brand new. It's made in China because it had the sticker on the neck of the violin. And it even has like a little sticker to put on the neck for beginners, like little dots that you can put your fingers on to learn the notes. The chin rest. The bridge is right under here, which goes right about here to hold the strings up. And I said, is there back to Redlands? Kind of came from Redlands area. Is there any way back there without going back down Highway 215? And she said, no. So it took me a long time to get home, but it was better coming back this way than it was going up the highway. It's up near, not far from Big Bear, Lucerne, and a bunch of other places that have like little alpine slides and all kinds of cool stuff, touristy stuff. It's pretty much toward the top of this mountain. And the roads were real nice. It was on the way from here to Barstow. It was halfway in between. Barstow's basically on the border of Nevada. They say Nevada here. I have always been told it was Nevada, but so look, I wiped it all down. I always wipe everything down that I bring in the house. And Brian doesn't know it. The baby was over here today, so I've got toys. Now these toys here, and these toys, and then where's the little bus? I don't know where it is. There's a little bus with little dolls that fit in the bus and everything. There's a Darth Vader doll in there, teddy bear, piggy. And baby was having a good time, throwing the balls and dismantling some of the other things. That kid knows how to do so much stuff. It's incredible. He's not even 2 yet. I guess kids these days know a whole lot more than we did. We were told what to do, I think, my generation, so we didn't really question a whole lot. That's why in the mid-60s you'll see bumper stickers that say, question authority. That's when people started questioning what doctors told them, questioning what their parents told them, because you'd ask why, and they go, because I said so. That's not a good answer. It's an answer, but it's not a good one. So my generation grew up kind of messed up. Now, I believe that if a kid asks a question, you answer to the best of your ability for what they need to know. Now, my uncle used to tell, if they asked him where babies come from, he told them the whole thing. If Spencer asked me where a baby comes from, I am very non-committal. I don't know, what do you call it? When you're not real specific, but you give them an idea that there's this person and that person, and they get together and they have a baby. I don't say anything else than that, Just something simple, and that will usually appease a kid. If you don't answer them and you act like it's some horrible subject, they're going to keep asking. Don't lie. Just be evasive and let them know. That way, you can also say, well, you may not understand a lot of it because it's science stuff, and your brain isn't ready for science stuff yet. The big science stuff. Little science stuff like making a whirlpool in the water. You know how a drop of soap displaces the water sometimes, or so, simple stuff like that. They can grasp that. It's hot in here. I've plugged in the window air conditioner in the other room. Now outside it's probably cool, but it was like very warm today. 90, 85, 90, something like that. 93 Fahrenheit. So it's pretty hot. 38, 39, something like that Celsius. Oh, I ate most of the pizza Brian got me, and then I ate a little dab of ice cream that was left over, and I had a little tiny piece of cake. It's going to go back in the fridge because if I try to eat that, I'll get sick. Yesterday we had a Ritz chicken casserole with broccoli in it. Brian's favorite. Ashley's a really good cook. She made that, and Spencer helped her make a chocolate cake. So yesterday was very nice. Brian overate. No jumping on Dad tonight. He was just so full. Today the kitty cat turns 4. When I moved out here, I had a gray tabby named Thrall. It was Scott's cat. He raised it, but when he went away to college and stuff, he asked me to look after him, and I did. So with me, the car was stuffed full as it could be with necessities, and the cat, and the litter box. He was a good boy. We made a stop somewhere in New Mexico or something, I think. The first night, I don't remember. And then we got here the second day. And he got old. He was very old and died. And then somebody had a little black kitty. It was so cute. It was listed on Craigslist or something. He goes, oh, he really needs a home. And he was so cute. He was an indoor-outdoor cat, but he was just really, really little. And it was owned by a lesbian couple. And she said, well, we can't have animals where we're moving. And I wanted him to come and meet you, so I want to make sure that he'll have a good home. And they called him Louie. And she liked me. She said it seemed like I was a good person for the kitty. She even took a picture of me holding the cat. They were kind of attached to him, I guess. And he's been a real good boy. He knows my ups and downs. He's smart. He has rituals that he does, don't we all? So coming up this week sometime is all the people in the play are meeting and reading through the scripts, getting our scripts. We're still looking for 2 guys. There's a total of 5 men parts in the play, and apparently there just weren't many males that showed for audition. You know, if it's the stepchildren, they could have cast there was 2 guys and a woman. They could cast them all to be women, and they could be extra snipey at each other yet. It's a possibility. It wouldn't ruin the play. If that's the people he's looking for, but I don't know. The doctor could be cast as a woman. I don't know who he cast for anybody except me. I know I was cast for Mrs. Patty. Whew, I am so hot. We all think highly of ourselves. I'll probably give myself a sponge down and go to bed naked. I'll let the fan blow right on me. I get to watch the little guy again tomorrow because Brian has some important thing at where he works, so he has to go to that. So I'll be watching him for the morning. I just love him. I love that kid. I think he might be autistic, but I don't care. I understand him, and he knows it. And we've got these little games that he comes up with, and I figured out how to play, and we play together, and it's lots of fun. I love this job. How long have I blithered? I'm sure it's a lot. Oh my goodness, over 15 minutes. I'll probably watch this and see if I forgot anything, which I'm sure I repeated things, so that's good enough. My phone was low on power. I'm not really sure why. I had it sitting on a shelf in the car that's supposed to recharge the phone, but apparently that area of the car was real hot, and a sign came up on the phone saying, you have to let your phone cool down, or turn it off and let it cool down. I thought, crap. So I put it in the fridge when I got home. Cooled it down. I'm sure whatever's happening to the phone here is damaging it. But it gets really hot here. Really hot. I already have sunburn on my arm from driving around. Sorry for all the bouncing around. When I chuckle or laugh, my belly moves and my arm's resting on my belly. I figured out if I could get rid of this big fat apron, the fat apron in front of me, and then lose 10 to 20 pounds beside that, I would lose, wait a minute, 20, 30, I have to lose 30 pounds and cut this fat off of me, and then I'll be just right, I think. My mom used to repeat something her mother used to say, if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. Yeah. I need to go to bed so I can get up in the morning, watch the little feller go upward and onward.